Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Breakthrough Club. It's a talk show where we invite very special guests, business leaders, sales and marketing leaders, who are bringing uniqueness to how they do things. And actually, they help their community and their organization rise above the noise. I'm so glad today to have a very special guest, Allie, founder and CEO of resumefree. Hello, Allie. How are you doing today?
I'm well, Sahir. How are you?
Great. Thank you for accepting to join our conversation today. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So I usually have a series of questions. If you're okay with that, we'll go through them. But again, it's a free flow. We want to make sure that we add a lot of value to our audience today. So
Sure.
first, tell us more about yourself, your background, the city you were born in, education, things around that.
Sure. So I was born and raised in Edmonton. And at a very young age, I actually decided to leave for Vancouver. And I actually started my career out in Vancouver back in 2001. And so now that puts me at this upcoming month, May 1st, I will have 19 years of recruitment experience.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, you started working very early, like maybe 5 years old or something like that.
Yeah, when I was like 2.5, around there. No, I had the pleasure of working in restaurant hospitality, and that actually kind of started my career going into recruitment in high volume. And I basically started, my education was Bachelor of Science. So a lot of people don't know that I was going to be a forensic toxicologist when I grew up. And I actually parlayed that scientific background into what I'm doing now. So I fell in love with the people side of business, and hence why I'm in recruitment and HR. And from that focus, it's been very beneficial to be working with many different organizations across many different industries. So,
wow, a very interesting and diverse mix, I guess, from a science background and studying into kind of more people and outgoing and dealing with culture and teams. That's an amazing kind of shift, if I may say, or pivot.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a big pivot.
Yeah, but I think it all adds up. Would you agree with me? Like from an overall experience perspective.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people forget that even if you start out on one path, your path can change as per what we're going through right now. And it's really how you see yourself going forward. So if something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Or if you feel like you're trying to be a square peg in a round hole, try something else. There's always opportunities to move and pivot into new areas.
I love that. If you feel the needle is moving forward, I think then that's a good sign in a way. So tell us more about resumefree.
So resumefree has been an idea in my brain for probably 5+ years now. And as of April this year, we were incorporated a year ago.
Congratulations.
And thank you. It's been a fast and furious path to where we are now. So it started just as myself. I was running another company. I own another company as well, but have since handed off those duties, and wanted to take a way for employers and candidates to get matched better without having a resume, because in my years of recruitment, I have seen tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of resumes. And really, it's not a very good indicator of success in a role, especially because of my background being somebody started in a different education, started in a different industry, different area, moving from Edmonton, Vancouver back to Edmonton. There was a lot of challenges in trying to find work that was suited towards my skill set, especially because typically people will hire based on where you've worked before. And so I'm very grateful for the people that took a chance on me, but I thought there's got to be a better way to do this. So resumefree is a way for employers and candidates to get matched based on soft skills and over 180 data points rather than a resume. And from that perspective, what happens is we're able to reduce the time to hire, reduce the cost of hiring, and actually increase employee retention over the first year.
Which is very important, because we know if you're a professional service organization, or even if you're any kind of business, one of the core assets of your organization is your team. So you're kind of reducing the process of an employer to find the real kind of rock star match for the culture and organization. So
Absolutely.
tell me more. So how do you usually have your prospect engage with the platform? Is it is it a meeting, or is it a cloud-based service platform?
So
How
it
does
is
it work?
it is a cloud-based platform right now. We are actually getting geared up to go into the Azure marketplace probably within 3 months. So by July, we'll be ready to be purchased through Azure. But from what it is, it's basically a tool that you can add into your regular recruitment process already. So what we're trying to do is provide a faster way to screen through all of the applications that you get without using a resume.
Got it.
And so from that perspective, it's really an addition to what's already happening in the organization, but it's a time saver and it's a money saver. Just because, again, being in recruitment, I know what the cost of recruitment is. And I also know what the cost of not having that role filled when it comes to productivity and things like that. So
Correct.
when it comes to prospecting, a lot of it has been word of mouth. And basically us saying, here's our new venture. And so there's a team of 4 of us that are going out saying, hey, we've got this great new platform. We'd love for you to try it. And so it's a one-on-one contact. And with that being said, our product is coming up to its next release, if you will, probably in May. And from that release, there's going to be a higher functionality and more automation, which will make it much faster for the whole process, which means that we're going to be able to scale much more quickly. So we need to get in front of our prospective clients in a better way, make them aware of what we can do, because there's very few people that know what resumefree does.
Beautiful. And Ali, can ask you a couple of questions. So you mentioned
Sure.
that it's somehow connected with the Microsoft Azure environment. Tell me more about that. Not the technical side, but why did you guys choose Azure as a platform, back end versus?
Yeah, very simple, actually. Because I was selected to go into a Women in Cloud Accelerator that was put on by Microsoft itself.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's amazing.
yeah,
Congratulations.
so thank you very much. So resumefree is one of 13 companies that were selected to go into the 3rd cohort for the Women in Cloud Accelerator, which basically means by the end of our accelerator, which will be probably 6 to 9 months down, just a little bit of confusion with the whole COVID thing coming, we will be ready and able to co-sell with Microsoft and be on the marketplace, and looking to land 1 or 2 enterprise contracts by the end of it. So they're basically helping us set our sales process up, which is great. Yeah.
That's amazing. And just for everybody listening today to the show, this is recorded in April 2020. So if you're listening to the show 3 months after or a year after, resumefree will be completely in a different stage by then, and you guys will be so busy, I guess, by
Hopefully we'll be out for everybody to see us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Ali, as a leader now, as a CEO of this new company, SaaS-based, powered by Microsoft and all those kind of things, I want you to take me back before COVID, and walk me through, from a very high-level perspective, like sales and marketing. I know you mentioned word of mouth and things like that. Just walk me through that. And then as soon as you're done with that, maybe I want to take you into during COVID now, what you guys are doing from a sales and marketing perspective as well.
So prior to everybody working from home, January saw us attending Startup TNT Summit, which was basically a pitch process for both investors and entrepreneurs to go through a kind of a safe space to do it. And from there, what happened was we were getting ready in our pitch process to go forward, and then getting ready to get more funding available. So we actually were able to secure funding to the tune of about $225,000, which is great. But then as soon as things started to kind of build up to when we kind of heard about this thing going on over in China, and then all of a sudden it was here. March was supposed to be an incredible month. I was supposed to actually go down to SaaStr, which is an amazing conference that's 15,000 attendees, and I got a free ticket to go because I'm a woman in tech, and apparently diversity is something that they were pushing for this year's theme. Yeah, and so I would have been down in San Jose 1 week and then fly home over the weekend, and then the next week out in New York for the kickoff of the Woman in Cloud Accelerator. So I had all
Oh,
these travel
wow.
plans. I was expected to go out and meet these incredible people that are doing the same kind of hustle with their roles and make really solid connections and potential sales leads face to face. And then, the hammer came down and everything just kind of stopped. And so because I was so focused on the international expansion, I kind of pulled back from the local connections and getting set up and meeting with other people, other entrepreneurs that are in the same kind of space. And at that time, I when you just kind of set it and forget it, it's not really how you create really good leads and really good sales. And so unfortunately, that kind of dipped down with our sales funnel and our pipeline. And so I wanted to try and see what I could do with the COVID and come through with what the new methodology would be. But with that being said, I'm also in another accelerator called Propel, which is through Startup Edmonton, and this is their first iteration of it. And Propel is really focusing on providing the right processes in early growth, so that once we're able to go and get funding, we actually have the proper, hockey stick momentum, 10x potential.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so they basically were helping us define what our process is. And I thought, I really need to get a solid sales and prospecting procedure established, especially because now we have to reach out to people and do discovery in a different format rather than, coffee or in person. So
correct. Yeah, now there's no trade show, there's no face-to-face. So yeah, I can imagine. Wow. Can I ask you a question? Do you sleep at night?
Barely.
Okay.
I get asked that all the time, like, do you sleep? And I won't even tell you my personal family side of it because there's a lot going on. But I think I'm a sucker for punishment. But I think when you're passionate about something, energy doesn't matter. It flows through no matter what. So
and I can see it in the interview process already. Like I can see the energy. So that's amazing. That's amazing. And I love the positive vibe that you have already, Ali. So thank you for that, especially for the audience. Interesting. So one question now regarding the culture. So as a you mentioned you're a co-founder of two companies at the same time, and your focus right now is on Resume Free, and you're bootstrapping Resume Free. And if I understand from you, it's a cloud-based solution for employers, mid-sized and large employers, to be able to reduce the time to kind of attract the right talent with the 180 data points that you have in the platform. So with that in mind, how, like, clearly you're managing a dev team, you're managing a sales, like a sales team member, maybe working with dev teams, working with large organizations like Microsoft. We're working with two different incubation organizations at the same time. How do you manage that? It's so different.
How do I do that? I don't do it myself. I do it with a fantastic team. And I think one of the benefits that I have is that I've been able to surround myself with a whole whack of smart people that are more smart than I am. So they bring a different perspective and a unique capability to what each of the businesses are. So I'm going to pump the tires of Avatar a little bit. She is an amazing human being. She's a hyper processor and she's able to pick up on things. And she's got this really keen strategic mind about how small incremental implementations will actually have the butterfly effect down the road. So she's got this amazing eye for things that I don't necessarily have. So she complements my skill set. And so moving forward with Resume Free, starting to take on, it was just kind of slowly releasing and delegating some of the tasks that, as a solopreneur, I was doing all of it myself. But Av was the first person on my team. I have a laundry list of people that have helped me get River City HR up and running, and they're amazing. And I can wholeheartedly trust them to do the work that needs to be done in the way that we like to provide for our clients. And so when it came to building out Resume Free, it's a little different. So it's not just people that are experts in their field. I now have to seek out technical experts as well. And so one of the ways that I did that was I outsourced my development. And so I've been using De Facto, which is a local Edmonton company, to help
Very
us.
famous organization.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're doing great work with us. And so we're building out our second MVP, I like to call it, with their expertise. And I've also brought on other areas of expertise that have different mindsets. So I've got Vince Walden, CTO, PNG, MBA, that's helping out with all of the technology aspects and the process, and making sure that everything's going that way. And he's got a wealth of experience with other startups as well, which is great. Mm-hmm. And then Dustin Wenger is my MBA COO. So he is helping with where we need to get the company from a financial standpoint to a standpoint down the road of selling it off and things like that. So those two types of people I didn't necessarily need in River City, but I definitely need in Resume Free.
Right.
And then I actually did poach one person from River City to Resume Free, just because she has this incredible skill set. So Megan Hunter is a sales professional that had some background in HR. So she was doing recruitment with River City, but because she's got this amazing process of like how you set up the calls and the scripts and things like that, her value was more leverageable in Resume Free than River City. And so I'm sorry to River City folks, but she's working with Resume Free right now.
That's
so
amazing.
It's understanding where people's strengths are and what skills can actually be transferable across different organizations, because they are two completely different organizations.
They are. If I understand correctly, Resume Free is a SaaS-based, absolutely kind of huge potential for growth model.
Absolutely.
River City, same thing, but it's not a SaaS-based, a professional service and engagement model.
Correct.
Versus a SaaS-based, right? So absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. And I think it also speaks a lot about your leadership skills, because now you're kind of you're empowering this kind of very special team. Each one are having their own special gift and skill sets. Some of them are part of your core team. Some of them are collaboration between your organizations and other bigger organizations. So I think it speaks a lot about the whole culture of the organization that you're running here. So
absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. And another person that I forgot to mention, sorry, Cheryl Probert is my lead recruitment consultant with River City, and she brings experience in a lot of different industries, and from Toronto, Calgary, and Edmonton. And she was the top recruiter nominee in 2018. And so she's just phenomenal when it comes to candidate experience and employer experience.
That's amazing. I'll ask you a question. Are all those teams, are they all they live in Edmonton, or are they spread in Canada, or a mix?
Everybody lives in Edmonton presently. When it comes to the different area codes that we have on the phones, all over the place. So I think one of the things now, especially now that we're seeing, is that you don't necessarily need to have like a 780 or a 403 number to be, Edmonton or Alberta based. You can be working anywhere. It's a global part of our business now. You've got Wi-Fi, spotty or not, you're able to do work.
Exactly.
So.
And I think that match also where Resume Free wants to go, because your platform is a cloud-based platform hosted on the Microsoft Azure environment, which means you can have international clients. You can cross the pond and have international clients from other regions worldwide, not just national in Canada or Canada and the US. Is that a fair statement, I guess? Hey, Ali, can you hear me now? I think I lost you here for a second. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me now? Not yet? Okay. So while Ali comes back, so I just kind of to summarize where we are from a conversation perspective. So we're speaking about Resume Free. We're speaking about her platform and all those kind of things. I'll check just one more time to see if she can, let me chat and see if she can dial in, dial out. Hey, test 1, 2, 3, can you hear me now? Let me check. No. No. Okay. Oh, here you go. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you now. Perfect.
Sorry.
Okay. We were just speaking about spotty Wi-Fi, and the gods of internet kind of punished us. So
Yeah, so
I'm glad you're
I'm
back.
so sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Sorry about that. Okay. What was your question again?
I was just summarizing where we are, right? From the
Yeah.
conversation around, managing a team, building a SaaS-based environment, running it on the Microsoft Azure environment, collaboration between internal and external team members, and being a SaaS-based environment. This gives you the ability to attract international organization across the pond, not just nationally in Canada. So maybe my final question to you, Ali, today is, what's your vision for Resume Free? Like, where do you want to see Resume Free going in the next, let's say, 3 years?
I joke with people all the time about this. I say world domination, and I'm only half joking with that because I think, and maybe this is just the founder, brilliance in me right now, or my idea is, I think, and I know there's a better way to do recruitment that gets better results when you actually use data. The scientist in me use data to prove your theory. And I've tested this theory through River City, and I've tested it through a few of our beta testers with Resume Free. And I think that this process has the ability to change how we do recruitment as a population, not just as, a nation or businesses. It's industry agnostic, so we can go across many different industries. Our target right now are those people that are in a hurry to hire somebody, don't have the time to filter through hundreds, and probably post-COVID on resumption of services, we're going to see thousands of applications.
You're right.
And so when people don't have time, and you're getting a lot of people that are skilled in some areas but not all areas, like, how do you challenge or check to see that somebody is the right fit for your role? And so I can see us being well positioned for when resumption of services happens to help employers make the best decisions and the best hires. And I know that with the partnering and the Women in Cloud and Microsoft, we do have that ability to go international within the year.
That's
and
amazing.
Then there's a lot of great supports through the government of Alberta. There's different accelerators that go across the sea. There's different, there's Techstars, there's Eureka, there's a lot of different things that we've been exposed to in the last little 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, and that's partly due to Propel, but it's also partly due to understanding that relationship building can still happen. It's just not going to be as familiar.
Yeah. A new kind of relationship building, absolutely. And also my understanding, you guys are using HubSpot as the back end of your platform. So the CRM and the marketing automation, is that correct?
Yeah, so we're really looking forward to utilizing this tool to its greatest capacity. I think we started using it as just kind of a one-stop shop to, put our contacts in, and then really it was under the poking of Megan to say, like, hey, this tool, we're underutilizing it. We should take a look and see what its functionality could be. And because what we're doing is automation through recruitment and talent acquisition, I wanted to see, well, how else can we automate our process and make this a better experience for everybody, not only us as salespeople, but also the prospects.
Correct.
And so having conversations with you and with Max and understanding that there is a lot more potential that we were just not utilizing, I was like, okay, let's see how we can do this. And so I feel like we're going to have a really good, strong sales and marketing push by utilizing HubSpot.
And you know what? You have a great team as well, because we all know a tool is a tool, but you really need a team that can put the right information in the tool and work on the data hygiene of the context and information. We've met with Megan. She is amazing as a sales leader. So Ali, this is all credit to you as well. As a leader, you're actually attracting rock stars to your organization. So that's amazing. So my final question to you is, what's your final advice, if I may say, that you want to leave for audience who are listening to the show today?
There's so many pieces of advice that I want to give, but I think kind of in true tone to what we've been talking about, I think now is the time for you to really explore what are the best skills for not only yourself, but your organization. And even creating like a skills matrix to figure out what you'll need for resumption of services, and kind of itemizing or prioritizing which skill comes first will help you bring back people that have been laid off or people that you had to let go. And also to the candidates, remember that, you know, you can start one area and then flip to another area. And there's no such thing as a midlife crisis. It's just a pivot. It's changing to where you need to be. That's a lot more suited to where you are. And you know, gone are the days of people going to school, going into the workforce, spending 45 years, getting the gold watch, and
Correct.
walking away. It's going to be people that have 18 months experience to 24 months experience and keep it going from there. So as long as you're filling your suitcase with skills, take your suitcase wherever you go.
I love this advice. Very true. That's exactly what we're seeing in the market right now.
Exactly.
Ellie, one final question. So if people want to know about you, about Resume Free, what website should they go to?
You know what? Go to Resume Free. It's goresumefree.com. I encourage everybody to take a look at it. If you'd like to connect with me on LinkedIn, my LinkedIn is Allie, A-L-L-I-E, Knull, like knife, K-N-U-L-L. I pretty much accept everybody that connects with me on LinkedIn because I like building my network. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Allie, thank you so much for being on the show today. We really appreciate it. We learn a lot, and I'm sure the audience learned a lot too. I wish you all the best with Resume Free and with River City as well. And I know you guys will do great. Thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.